Hey guys, welcome back. Today, back on the RV, we've got an awesome upgrade. Made a couple videos in the past about the RV, and clearly every time I'm in there, I point out the peeling, flaky furniture because of that year. Well, my wife was on Facebook Marketplace the other day, and she saw a couch for 200 bucks. 200 bucks. Every other couch we've looked at on Facebook Marketplace is, or I'm sorry, online, is a new one's about $1,200, somewhere between $1,100-ish or more. We've also thought about a local upholsterer who seems like, we haven't contacted them yet, but they seem pretty affordable, do a lot of boats, probably could do the RVs, and we are considering some of the other components in there. But when we found a couch for 200 bucks, we immediately jumped on it. Messaged them right away, said, hey, we're gonna come pick it up, and didn't even haggle about the price. If you can see it behind me, this is it. It's a trifold Thomas Paine collection. The identical one online is like 11 or 1,200 bucks on Amazon and others. It's brand new. I don't know if they ever really even sat on it. I don't think they came out of their RV. I think the guy said they upgraded from a travel trailer to a fifth wheel, and he this was in like his daughter's room or something. I think they were changing it into something else, like maybe an office or something. But they took it out. They had some other components they took out to adjust it. I think they were selling. He retired military, sold his business, getting ready to travel, and this just wasn't in that separate room. I think it was a second room they have in their RV. They didn't need it, so he put it up for 200 bucks. His loss is absolutely my gain. They haven't even taken the plastic off the bottom yet. We'll just leave that on there. I think it helps with feet hitting it. It's a little bit wider than our old one, but it's still going to fit just fine. We'll still be able to walk with the slide closed as we're driving. But let's take these cushions off real quick. So I got the cushions off. I'm going to show you how it opens up real quick. And then there's supposed to be a pin here we take apart. The RV is in the backyard. Obviously, it has a very narrow door, so this is going to be a real pain to fit, especially with just me and my wife trying to lift it in. So we're going to put it in the, even if it's got to be a couple pieces, we're going to put it in the Durango, drive it around back, unload it into the RV, and then put it back together in the RV. So first I'll show you how it comes apart, or it folds out, which is just barely, almost not going to fit if it's folded out, but that's fine. Our old jackknife sofa was pretty small. If somebody wants to sleep on this, obviously you're shorter, you keep your legs up, you'll be fine. We never really used the sofa. Only our shorter kids are on the drive, so this is going to be used no differently than the one we have now, but it can be used as a full, I think, queen-size bed. So let me show you here. It really just lifts up pretty simply. Got some legs here. Pop the legs out. And then you fold it back down. And it's just that simple. So, yeah, pretty easy. It looks like trying to decide how to take it apart here. I could just take these 4 screws out here, and then this back is separate, and we can fight with this frame, which might be easiest all by itself. And then it looks like just like you said, it looks like, yeah, these pins pop out, and I should be able to take this thing out. So I'm going to pop these pins out, take those screws out, we'll load these pieces in the Durango as we go, and then take it back, wrestle it in. So here's a look at the couch that I'm about to take out. It is in rough shape, as you can see. We did have some coverings on it to make sure. We had multiple sheets. The dogs like to lay on here. We actually put some other foam on there. We swept this out when we last camped, and just taking that cover off has already made a mess. You can see this is just ridiculous how much of this outer layer comes off. We do have a couple more rolls. It's these boxes here of this leather tape. The biggest thing I found, and the captain's chairs, the driver and passenger seat are doing the same thing. But what I learned on that one with the first repair I tried to make is you can't just put it on a section that looks like this. You know, it's got to be barren. So if you get some really good duct tape, lay that duct tape down first and then peel it up. You're going to peel up all the layers of this leather, this fake crap leather, and then you can put this down. So here where I actually did that with some tape, I think I made this a little oversized. I think this was the first roll we bought. It stuck pretty well here. So if you can peel that up, it'll stick really well there, and then you can use that for small sections. I think they make some bigger ones. So if you really just want to do that, you can. But we have it's just a simple jackknife sofa here. It it just lifts up and pops down, and you can just watch all that crap rain down. And again, you can just see it down here. It's just a mess. We keep drinks down here, and our vacuum. We are going to lose this space with the new couch. But one of the things I did, this feature was not part of this when we bought it. I did put some install these I made this front panel actually flip up here, which is a cool design, and it's hard to see. Maybe when I get this out, I'll show you the hinges, or you'll see it at some point. I just put some hinges here, screwed the hinges to the bottom of the frame with self-tappers, and then just screwed them right into the face of this kick plant panel here. It did have some wood blocks that had it spaced out, and it was just really just strapped to those wood blocks. So I put some hinges on there, and so when this is down, what it gives us is, one, the dog liked to sit up here. We've since kicked him off of this. This is no longer space. We put him under the dinette. When he's up there, it's just a pain to get him off. And when people are sitting here, or you've got it laid out as a bed or something, you just lifting this up sometimes is inconvenient. So just opening the front and pulling this out was pretty easy. So I think what I'm going to do first here, I had to go and get some the tools. So that looks like some Deepwell 13 millimeter half, probably half for these bolts. I'll take this bottom panel off. These screws that hold it to the side are the square. I think these other screws here are square. So I'm going to take this bottom, the seat off first, and then see if I can take the back off without actually pulling it loose. I may have to just unscrew it from the base of the RV, pull it out, then I can get to it in the back there, and then I think I could take this frame apart pretty easily. There's some screws here and a couple bolts, so and then I could probably take these sides off to break this down quite small. So all right, I'm gonna take this thing apart, and then yeah, we'll get this other couch in here. We'll get it out of here and get this new couch in. So that didn't take long. The I would say I spent more time slowly cleaning, getting all the crap up as I took the pieces apart and stacked them than I actually did taking it apart. So this needs another good sweeping, maybe good vacuuming here, and then it has been raining, so it's not helping with any of this crap vinyl leather fake stuff. As it gets wet, it sticks to the floor. So hopefully it's dry enough here to get it done. We'll get one of those. We got a wet Swiffer. We'll Swiffer this thing, make it nice and clean, nice and ready for this new budget couch that we're going to put in. But just to go over what it took me to take these apart, really just a 1/2 inch socket. I used my my small 3/8 impact. You could just use a ratchet, pretty easy. So a 1/2 inch socket is you'll need a 1/2 inch, and then you'll need a 10 millimeter. So these 4 bolts are all that held the frame down. You know, I've already thrown the frame outside, but that's it. These 4 bolts, and they came out really easy. So you know, for something that you're sitting on that's buckled down, I mean, I guess the seat belts look like they're bolted in really well, so they're probably through the frame or something like that. But the seat itself, you know, it probably wouldn't have taken much to a good amount of force to knock that thing loose. But it was just these 4 bolts, these 4 long, like 2.5 inch, 2 inch self tappers, 10 millimeter. So 10 millimeter here. Everything else was 1/2 inch. These the frame itself, the two U-shaped legs were just held on by 2 bolts on each side, so those are 1/2 inch. The cushions each just have a pair of studs, 2 studs each, so these are also just 1/2 inch nylock bolts, so those came off pretty easily. And then the sides actually screwed off really easily as well. You just need one of these square bits, like a lot of deck screws. So these 2.5 and some are a little shorter screws, a couple on top and one on the bottom, and the side panels just kick right off. Also took off the fire extinguisher housing, and it had this random metal disconnect power supply for removal of cover. This was just back there, I guess, as a way to screw the dang thing in and connect it to nothing. It just came right out. So yeah, it was the way they installed this fire extinguisher to this plug connects to ceiling assembly. Yeah, I don't know. Compressor and overload. I don't even know if this is to this RV. Optional start components wiring. I've no clue. So yeah, they just put this in there and used it to screw the fire extinguisher so it wouldn't fall over. So that was quality, absolutely. And these are just the hinges that I took off. So that's it. Pretty simple. Now, again, clean up and get the new Facebook Marketplace one in here. Well, it's only sprinkling a little bit, so I think we'll be safe. Obviously, this door is pretty narrow, and we got it in the Durango just fine, so we're pretty close. I'll put out the awning if I need to. Left enough room so we could take it out, kind of go in here sideways, and then set it down. So I'll set up the camera so we can get a good view of us struggling to get this in here. Hopefully, we don't yell at each other. And hey, I know I'm using this as a mat, the EGA. This thing, you dry your tush with this. Just, you know, I can step on it. Plenty of room.
What if you get some of those brackets and just do something?
Yeah, I'll go grab some. I got some good screws. I'll go grab the brackets.
You want to at least bring in the thing before she
Yeah, we'll bring in the other piece.
and just put it back there so it's not moving.
All right, so far, got it in here. Fits really nicely. Use my knee and push these armrests all the way against the back, and make sure that the back panel folds down nicely. But I do want to screw it to the floor. I'm gonna reuse those long 10 millimeter self tappers. Why not? And I've got a handful of nice Phillips head panhead screws. And these brackets, I wish I can tell you where I found the brackets, where we've had the brackets, but these are actually, I think, These are from big, gigantic shelving units that we had in our old house from IKEA. So I think these are brackets to mount it to the wall so it like doesn't fall over if a kid crawls up your big bookshelf. So, you know, as a typical dad, I hoard, you know, any angle iron things I think I can use to, you know, weld cars back together with in the future, and I end up using it for things like this. Probably had these for 4 years, maybe 5, and now I'm gonna use them. Dang it, I'm gonna use them. All right, I'm gonna, yeah, I'll keep this set up so you can see me put the first one in. All right, guys. So this is one thing I do want to check. I know that I measured before the slide was out, you know, with the distance we had left with the slide and what this was completely folded out, and I had, you know, -1 inch. So I'm hoping that we have some play here. But I'm not sure. So I'm gonna pull it out right now. We'll give you guys a bird's eye view of this, you know, operation, and we'll see if we can't, if this doesn't fit, pulled out like a bed. So really, once these feet are out and the bottom is out, as long as this bottom part fits, I know the top part's gonna fit. So. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, as you can see, we need about 2 inches. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. We didn't use the other one that much anyway, and the other one wasn't very big, so with this laid like this, somebody's going to be able to sleep on it regardless. Obviously it's not going to be a long queen, but we got a new couch and it doesn't look like garbage. So you know, if I ever do pull these panels up, I could. It'd be a lot of work adjusting the rest of the frame for that bed, or for the dinette, or, you know, rebuilding part of the dinette so we can have access. One of the things I'll potentially have access underneath those benches. But yeah, we are just short of being able to pull this out. But next, I'm going to put it back together, and I'm going to pull in the slide, and we'll see how much room we have now when the slide is in while we're driving down the road. The slide is in. And I'm actually extremely pleased with how much this doesn't feel, to me it feels about the same as the old one. So even though it was like 3 or 4 inches bigger, I mean, I thought it was going to come out to this, actually the second plank line here. So I thought it was going to come out even further. And we're only going to have, you know, two feet here. But yeah, I can put my entire foot, you know, I can stand completely facing that way. I can sit and my feet are comfortable. You know, typically one of my kids is sleeping on this couch, you know, the entire 5 hours it seems like I'm driving, and then, you know, up all night on their devices. Or maybe I'm kidding about that, but, you know, that's, they are sleeping. They typically sleep a lot, or sit here and, you know, watch their devices or TV or movies or something, while we're driving down the road, laying down. One lays down and the other two, we actually put it like this and they lay here. So, yeah, much more room than I thought.